The discovery, the vastness of space, stretched before the celestial Pathfinder, Earth's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Amelia Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the holographic displays that surrounded her. The ship had ventured farther than any human craft before, pushing the boundaries of known space in humanity's relentless quest for knowledge. "Captain, we're picking up an anomalous signal," reported Lieutenant Raj Patel, his fingers dancing across the sensor controls. "It's unlike anything in our database." Amelia's heart quickened. This was why they had come so far, to discover the unknown. "On screen, Lieutenant. Let's see what we're dealing with." The main view screen flickered to life, displaying a swirling mass of energy that pulsed with an otherworldly light. At its center, barely visible, was a dark shape. "Magnify," Amelia ordered, leaning forward. As the image zoomed in, gasps echoed across the bridge. The shape resolved into a massive creature, unlike anything they had ever seen. Its body was long and serpentine, covered in iridescent scales that seemed to absorb and reflect light simultaneously. Multiple limbs, some ending in delicate appendages, others in what appeared to be powerful manipulators, were tucked close to its body. But what struck Amelia most were its eyes, large, multifaceted organs that spoke of deep intelligence, and in those eyes she saw pain. "It's wounded," Dr. Elena Rossi, the ship's gynobiologist, said softly. She had appeared on the bridge, drawn by the commotion. "Look at the way it's curled in on itself. Something has hurt it badly." Amelia nodded, her mind racing. First contact scenarios had been drilled into her head since her earliest days at the academy, but nothing had prepared her for this. A creature of obvious intelligence, wounded and alone in the depths of space. The choice before her was clear, even if the consequences were not. "Prep the hangar bay," she ordered. "We're bringing it aboard." The next hours were a flurry of activity. The celestial Pathfinder's tractor beams, designed for moving asteroids and space debris, strained against the creature's mass. Slowly, carefully, they guided it into the cavernous main hangar. As the atmospheric shields shimmered into place, Amelia led a team into the hangar. The creature's size was even more apparent now. It nearly filled the massive space. Its breathing was labored, each exhale sending ripples through its scaled hide. Dr. Rossi approached cautiously, medical scanner in hand. "Captain, these readings, they're off the charts. This being's neural complexity rivals our most advanced AI systems. And the wounds, they're not natural. Something attacked this creature with weapons far beyond our current technology." Before Amelia could respond, a low, resonant hum filled the air. It vibrated through her bones, and suddenly her mind was filled with images, stars and nebulae she had never seen, worlds teeming with life, and a sense of timeless, patient intelligence. The creature was communicating. "I am Zephyr," the thoughts coalesced in Amelia's mind. "Last of the Voidwalkers. You help." Amelia stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Yes, Zephyr, we'll help you. You're safe now." As if in response to her words, Zephyr's massive body relaxed slightly. But the relief was short-lived. New images flooded Amelia's mind. Sleek, predatory ships, bristling with weapons. A race of beings driven by a hunger for conquest and destruction. The Harvesters. "They come." Zephyr's thoughts carried a weight of despair. "They always come." Amelia turned to her crew, seeing the same mix of awe and determination on their faces that she felt. "Alert all hands," she ordered. "We have a patient to heal and an enemy to prepare for. Humanity just entered the galactic stage, and we're going to make one hell of an entrance." As the crew sprang into action, Amelia placed a gentle hand on Zephyr's sails. The creature's alien eyes met hers, and in that moment, a bond was formed, one that would shape the destiny of both their species. In the depths of space, aboard a ship named for humanity's eternal quest for knowledge, first contact had been made, and with it came a choice: stand with a wounded stranger against an implacable foe, or retreat to the safety of ignorance. For Captain Amelia Chen and the crew of the Celestial Pathfinder, there was no choice at all. They were explorers, scientists, and above all human. And humanity had never been one to back down from a challenge. As the ship's medical team began their work, as engineers puzzled over integrating alien biology with human technology, and as tactical officers prepared for an enemy they had never faced, Amelia knew one thing for certain. The universe had just become a much larger, more dangerous, and infinitely more wondrous place, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. Little did they know, their actions in the coming days would not only determine Zephyr's fate, but would ripple across the galaxy, forever changing the course of cosmic history. The Celestial Pathfinder had embarked on a journey far beyond the scope of its original mission, carrying with it the hopes, fears, and indomitable spirit of humanity. As Zephyr's labored breathing steadied under the care of Dr. Rossi and her team, Amelia returned to the bridge. The vast starfield on the main viewscreen seemed different now, filled with both promise and peril. "Status report," she called out, settling into the captain's chair. Lieutenant Petal's fingers flew over his console. "Long-range sensors are clear for now, Captain. But if what Zephyr showed us is accurate, we can't count on that lasting." Amelia nodded grimly. "Tactical, I want options. We're outgunned and facing an unknown enemy. It's time to get creative." As her crew set to work, Amelia's mind raced with the implications of their situation. They had stumbled upon a cosmic conflict, one that had already claimed countless lives and civilizations. The Harvesters, as Zephyr named them, were a force of destruction that sought to strip the galaxy of all advanced life. But humanity had faced long odds before. From their first steps out of Africa to the colonization of the solar system, humans had always found a way to survive and thrive against seemingly insurmountable challenges. "Captain," Dr. Rossi's voice came over the comm, tinged with excitement. "You need to see this." Amelia hurried back to the hangar, where she found the medical team huddled around a holographic display. The image showed a microscopic view of Zephyr's cellular structure. "It's incredible," Elena breathed. "Zephyr's biology. It's adaptable in ways we've never seen before. The creature can alter its own genetic structure in real time, integrating foreign elements and even energy patterns." The implications hit Amelia like a thunderbolt. "Are you saying?" Elena nodded, her eyes shining. "With Zephyr's help, we might be able to integrate some of its biological adaptations into our own technology. Imagine shields that can absorb and redirect energy, or weapons that can reconfigure themselves to exploit enemy weaknesses." It was a glimmer of hope, a potential equalizer against the overwhelming force they faced, but it would require a deep level of cooperation and trust between human and alien. Amelia approached Zephyr, whose multifaceted eyes tracked her movement. "We have an idea," she said aloud, knowing the creature could sense her thoughts. "But we'll need to work together in ways neither of our species has done before. Are you willing to try?" The hangar filled with a harmonious vibration, and Amelia's mind was flooded with images of cooperation, of blending, of becoming something greater than the sum of its parts. Together, Zephyr's thought echoed in her mind. "We face the darkness together." As the crew of the Celestial Pathfinder raced against time, melding human ingenuity with alien biology, Amelia couldn't help but feel a sense of cosmic irony. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now, in their moment of first contact, they found themselves thrust into an intergalactic war. But as she watched her crew work tirelessly alongside their new alien ally, Amelia felt a surge of pride. This was humanity at its best, curious, compassionate, and unyielding in the face of adversity. The stars outside seemed to shine a little brighter, as if bearing witness to this unlikely alliance. In the vast, indifferent cosmos, two species had chosen to stand together against the encroaching darkness. And in doing so, they would light a beacon of hope that would be seen across the galaxy. Unlikely allies, humans and the Voidwalker. The celestial pathfinder hummed with activity as human and alien worked side by side. In the main hangar, now transformed into a hybrid medical bay and engineering lab, Dr. Elena Rossi carefully extracted a sample of Zephyr's cellular material. "Fascinating," she murmured, studying the iridescent substance under a microscope. "The adaptive properties are like nothing we've ever seen. It's as if each cell is a miniature supercomputer, constantly rewriting its own code." Nearby, Chief Engineer Marcus Jung pored over schematics of the ship's systems. "If we can integrate even a fraction of its adaptability into our tech, we might stand a chance against the harvesters." Captain Amelia Chen watched the collaboration with a mixture of pride and anxiety. They were making progress, but time was not on their side. She approached Zephyr, whose massive form seemed to ripple with an inner light. "How are you feeling?" she asked, both aloud and in her thoughts. Zephyr's response came as a series of images and sensations. Strength returning, pain receding, but also a deep sorrow and urgency. "The harvesters," the thought echoed in Amelia's mind. "They draw near. I sense their hunger." Amelia nodded grimly. "We're doing everything we can to prepare. But I need to understand more about them. What drives them? Why do they destroy?" The hangar filled with a low, mournful hum as Zephyr shared its knowledge. In Amelia's mind, she saw worlds consumed, civilizations erased, all to feed the harvesters' insatiable appetite for energy and resources. They were a race that had long ago abandoned any notion of coexistence, seeing the galaxy as nothing more than fuel for their endless expansion. They fear. Zephyr's thought cut through the horrific images. Fear the dark between stars, fear the end. So they consume, always consume, to outrun their fear. The weight of this knowledge settled heavily on Amelia's shoulders. They weren't just facing an enemy. They were up against a force of nature, driven by the most primal of instincts. "Captain," Lieutenant Peto's voice crackled over the comm. "Long-range sensors are picking up multiple signatures. They match the energy patterns Zephyr showed us. The harvesters, they're here." Amelia's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. "Battle stations. All hands, prepare for engagement." She turned to Zephyr, seeing her own determination reflected in those alien eyes. "It's time to see what we can do together." As klaxons blared throughout the ship, the crew scrambled to their positions. In engineering, Marcus and his team worked feverishly to integrate the newly developed bioadaptive technology into the ship's systems. "Shields at 120% capacity," he reported, a note of wonder in his voice. "The Voidwalker cells are actually strengthening our energy matrix." On the bridge, Tactical Officer Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka's hands flew over her console. "Weapons systems online. The adaptive targeting algorithms are evolving. They're anticipating possible enemy maneuvers." Amelia took her place in the captain's chair, feeling the weight of not just her crew, but of two species resting on her shoulders. "On screen," she ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that sent a chill down her spine. A fleet of sleek, predatory ships approached, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly metal that seemed to devour light. At their center was a massive vessel, easily 10 times the size of the celestial pathfinder. "Life signs?" Amelia asked, her voice tense. Raj shook his head. "None that we can detect, Captain, but there's an immense energy signature. It's as if the ships themselves are alive." As if in response to his words, a beam of sickly green energy lanced out from the lead harvester ship. It struck the celestial pathfinder's shields, which flared brilliantly. "Shields holding," Marcus reported, his voice filled with disbelief. "The adaptive matrix is learning from the attack. It's strengthening itself against that specific energy frequency." Amelia allowed herself a small smile. Human ingenuity and Voidwalker biology were proving to be a formidable combination, but they were still vastly outnumbered and outgunned. "Evasive maneuvers," she ordered. "Yuki, target their lead ship's propulsion systems. Let's see how these new weapons perform." The celestial pathfinder dove and weaved through space, its movements more fluid and unpredictable than any human-designed ship had a right to be. Pulses of energy, shimmering with an otherworldly light, erupted from its weapons arrays. They struck the lead harvester ship, seeming to phase through its defenses before erupting in a cascade of secondary explosions. For a moment, hope surged through the crew. They had bloodied the nose of a superior foe, but their triumph was short-lived. The harvester ships regrouped, their formation shifting like a school of predatory fish. Energy beams lashed out from multiple vectors, hammering the celestial pathfinder's shields. Shields at 60% and dropping, Marcus reported, his earlier elation replaced by grim determination. The adaptive matrix is struggling to keep up with multiple attack patterns. Amelia's mind raced. They couldn't win in a straight fight, but perhaps Helm set a course for the nearest stellar nursery, she ordered, full speed. The crew looked at her in confusion, but years of trust overrode any doubts. The celestial pathfinder surged forward, diving into a chaotic region of space where new stars were being born. "Captain," Raj warned, "the stellar radiation and gravitational fluctuations in there will play havoc with our systems." "Exactly," Amelia replied, a fierce grin on her face. "But it'll do the same to them, and we have something they don't." As if on cue, Zephyr's thoughts resonated through the ship. "I understand. We adapt. We survive." The celestial pathfinder plunged into the stellar nursery, radiation alarms blaring. But even as systems fluctuated and shields strained, the ship's bioadaptive technology began to evolve. Radiation was absorbed and converted to energy. Gravitational eddies were detected and used to boost their speed. Behind them, the harvester ships faltered. Their rigid, machine-like nature struggled against the chaos of creation itself. "We're losing them," Yuki reported, a note of awe in her voice. "Their ships can't adapt fast enough to this environment." Amelia allowed herself a moment of relief, but she knew this was only the beginning. "Take us deeper," she ordered. "We need to find a place to regroup and plan our next move." As the celestial pathfinder ventured further into the cosmic maelstrom, its hull gleaming with the light of newborn stars, Amelia felt a profound sense of change. In the crucible of this battle, human and voidwalker had truly become one, and in doing so, they had lit a spark of hope in the face of an implacable enemy. The harvesters had come expecting easy prey. Instead, they had found a new force in the galaxy, one born from the best qualities of two very different species, a force of adaptation, of ingenuity, and of unyielding determination. As the ship sailed deeper into the unknown, Amelia knew that the real battle was just beginning. But for the first time since this journey began, she allowed herself to believe that they might just have a chance. The birth of stars continued around them, a testament to the universe's endless capacity for creation, and in their wake, a new legend was being born, one that would echo across the cosmos for eons to come. Escaping the harvesters, the celestial pathfinder drifted in the heart of the stellar nursery, its hull pulsing with an otherworldly glow. Inside, the crew worked tirelessly to repair systems strained by their daring escape. Captain Amelia Chen stood before the main view screen, watching the cosmic dance of gas and dust that would one day become new stars and worlds. "Status report," she called out, her voice steady despite the tension that hung in the air. Chief Engineer Marcus Jung's voice crackled over the comm. "The good news is, our bioadaptive systems are holding. We're actually getting stronger the longer we stay here. The bad news? Our conventional systems are taking a beating. We can't hide here forever, Captain." Amelia nodded grimly. "Understood. Raj, any sign of the harvesters?" Lieutenant Patel shook his head. "Nothing definitive, but there's a lot of interference. They could be regrouping just outside the nursery." As if in response to his words, Zephyr's thoughts resonated through the bridge. "They wait. They hunger. They will not give up." Amelia approached the central holo display, where a 3D map of their surrounding space flickered to life. We need a plan. We can't outfight them, and we can't run forever. Dr. Elena Rossi stepped forward, her eyes bright with an idea. Maybe we don't need to do either. Captain, I've been studying the data we've gathered on Zephyr's biology. The Voidwalkers don't just adapt, they evolve, rapidly and purposefully. What are you suggesting, Doctor? Amelia asked, intrigued. Elena's fingers danced across the holo display, bringing up complex biological models. If we can find a way to accelerate our own evolution, to truly merge with Zephyr's adaptive capabilities, we might be able to become something the Harvesters can't predict or counter. The implications were staggering. It wasn't just an upgrade to their technology, it was a fundamental change to what it meant to be human. Amelia felt the weight of the decision pressing down on her. Zephyr, she thought, reaching out with her mind. Is this possible? And is it right? The alien's response came not in words, but in a flood of images and sensations. Amelia saw countless worlds, countless forms of life, all connected in a vast cosmic web. She felt the ebb and flow of evolution, not as a random process, but as a deliberate journey towards greater complexity and understanding. All life changes, Zephyr's thoughts coalesced. All life grows. This is not an end, but a beginning. Amelia took a deep breath, her decision made. Do it, but participation must be voluntary. I won't force this on anyone. To her surprise and pride, not a single member of her crew hesitated. They had come to the stars to explore, to push the boundaries of human knowledge and capability. This was the ultimate frontier. As Elena and her team began preparations, alarms suddenly blared across the ship. Lieutenant Tanaka's voice was tense as she reported. Multiple Harvester signatures detected. They're entering the nursery. Amelia's mind raced. They needed more time. Helm, take us deeper. Use the stellar material as cover. Tactical, prepare to lay defensive mines. We need to slow them down. The celestial pathfinder surged forward, diving into denser regions of the nursery. Behind them, space itself seemed to warp and twist as the Harvester fleet pursued, their ships struggling against the chaotic environment. In the makeshift lab, Elena worked feverishly, her hands steady by Zephyr's alien influence. We're ready for the first trial, she reported. But Captain, once we start this process, there's no going back. Amelia looked around at her crew, seeing determination and trust in their eyes. We've come too far to turn back now. Begin the procedure. What followed was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. As Elena activated the bio-integration process, Amelia felt a surge of energy coursing through her body. Her senses sharpened, expanding beyond the confines of human perception. She could feel the ship around her, not as a separate entity, but as an extension of herself. Similar transformations rippled through the crew. Lieutenant Patel gasped as stellar radiation became visible to his newly enhanced eyes. Engineer Zhang marveled as he interfaced directly with the ship's systems, making repairs and adjustments with a mere thought. But the changes weren't just physical. Amelia felt her consciousness expanding, touching the minds of her crew and Zephyr in a complex neural network. They were no longer simply a crew, they had become a single unified entity. As the transformation neared completion, the Harvester fleet closed in. Their energy weapons lashed out, but the celestial pathfinder reacted with impossible speed and precision. Its hull rippled and shifted, absorbing and redirecting the attacks. Impossible, the Harvester's automated systems concluded. Their prey had changed, become something new and unpredictable. For the first time in eons, the Harvesters felt something akin to fear. Amelia, her mind now one with her ship and crew, saw countless possibilities unfolding before her. With a thought, the celestial pathfinder's weapons reconfigured, firing beams of energy that phased through the Harvester's defenses. We are more than you can imagine. Amelia's thoughts resonated across space, a unified message from the newly evolved humans and their Voidwalker ally. We are life, adapting and growing, and we will not be harvested. The battle that followed was unlike any in the history of the galaxy. The celestial pathfinder moved with impossible grace, its weapons and defenses evolving moment by moment to counter the Harvester's attacks. But more than that, it radiated a presence that shook the machine intelligences of the enemy fleet to their core. As the last Harvester ship fell silent, its systems overloaded by weapons it couldn't comprehend, Amelia felt a mixture of triumph and uncertainty. They had won this battle, but at what cost? What did it mean to be human now? Zephyr's thoughts washed over her, calming and reassuring. You have not lost your humanity, the alien conveyed. You have expanded it, grown beyond old limitations. The journey has just begun. As the celestial pathfinder emerged from the stellar nursery, its hull shimmering with newfound power, Amelia knew that nothing would ever be the same. They had set out to explore the universe, but in doing so, they had transformed themselves into something new, a bridge between humanity and the vast, unknown wonders of the cosmos. The stars seemed to shine brighter as the ship charted a course into the unknown. The Harvesters had been defeated, but Amelia knew this was just the beginning. There were more challenges to face, more mysteries to unravel, and an entire galaxy waiting to meet this new, evolved form of humanity. With her crewmates' thoughts humming in harmony with her own, Captain Amelia Chen looked out at the infinite expanse before them. Whatever came next, they would face it together, as explorers, as protectors, and as a new kind of cosmic citizen. The journey of discovery, both of the universe and of themselves, had only just begun. Sanctuary among the stars, building trust. The celestial pathfinder glided through the cosmos, its hull shimmering with an otherworldly iridescence that seemed to bend starlight around it. Inside, the newly evolved crew was still coming to terms with their transformation. Captain Amelia Chen stood on the bridge, her enhanced senses allowing her to perceive the ebb and flow of cosmic radiation around the ship. "Status report," she said, her voice carrying an undertone that resonated through the ship's neural network. Lieutenant Raj Patel, his eyes now swirling with stars, responded instantly. "All systems functioning at peak efficiency, Captain. Our new abilities are still integrating, but we're operating at capacity far beyond our original design." Dr. Elena Rossi approached, her body seeming to shimmer slightly as she moved. "The crew is adapting well, Amelia. But we're in uncharted territory here, both biologically and ethically. We need to consider our next steps carefully." Amelia nodded, feeling the weight of their transformation. They had become something new, a hybrid of human, voidwalker, and machine. The implications were staggering. "Zephyr," she thought, reaching out to their alien ally. "What do you suggest?" The Voidwalker's response came as a series of images and emotions. Amelia saw a distant star system, teeming with life and diversity. A sanctuary, hidden from the Harvesters, where beings from across the galaxy sought refuge and cooperation. The Nexus, Zephyr's thoughts coalesced. A place of gathering, of learning, of hope. Amelia shared the vision with her crew through their neural link. The excitement and curiosity were palpable. "It seems we have a destination," she announced. "Helm, set a course for the coordinates Zephyr has provided." As the celestial pathfinder altered its course, Amelia couldn't help but wonder about the reception they would receive. They were no longer purely human, but not quite alien either. How would the beings at this nexus react to their presence? The journey to the hidden star system took several days, during which the crew continued to explore their new abilities. Engineer Marcus Zhang discovered he could interface directly with the ship's systems, making repairs and upgrades with mere thoughts. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka found she could predict and calculate trajectories with unparalleled accuracy, enhancing their defensive capabilities. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were moments of disorientation as the crew adjusted to their expanded consciousness. The line between individual and collective thought sometimes blurred, leading to confusion and occasional conflict. "We need to find a balance," Amelia mused during a quiet moment, "between what we were and what we've become." Zephyr's thoughts brushed against her mind, comforting and wise. Balance comes with time. You are young in your new form. Growth is rarely without discomfort. As they approached the coordinates of the nexus, the ship's sensors detected a complex array of cloaking fields and gravitational distortions. To normal eyes, the system would appear empty. But to their enhanced perceptions, it was a bustling hub of activity. "We're being hailed," Raj reported, a note of wonder in his voice. "The signal, it's like nothing I've ever seen. It's not just audio or visual. It's everything." Amelia took a deep breath. "Open a channel. Let's introduce ourselves." The view screen came to life, but what they saw defied easy description. It was a swirling vortex of colors, shapes, and concepts. Slowly, it coalesced into a form that their minds could interpret, a being of pure energy, its body a constantly shifting tapestry of light. "Welcome, travelers," the being's thoughts resonated in their minds. "I am Iona, custodian of the Nexus. We have long awaited your arrival." Amelia stepped forward, her own form shimmering slightly. "I am Captain Amelia Chen of the Celestial Pathfinder. We come seeking sanctuary and understanding." Iona's form pulsed with curiosity. "You are changed. Neither fully organic nor synthetic. A new path of evolution. Fascinating." "We had help," Amelia replied, gesturing to Zephyr. "We faced the harvesters and were forced to adapt." At the mention of the harvesters, a ripple of concern passed through Iona's form. "You have faced the great devourers and survived. More than survived, you have evolved beyond their understanding. This changes everything." The energy being seemed to consider for a moment before continuing. "You are welcome here, Celestial Pathfinder. But know that your presence will spark both hope and fear among the Nexus inhabitants. There are many here who have fled the harvesters, who have lost worlds and civilizations to their hunger." Amelia nodded solemnly. "We understand. We come in peace and with an open mind. We have much to learn and perhaps something to teach as well." Iona's form brightened. "Well spoken, Captain. Follow the beacon we're transmitting. It will guide you safely through our defenses." As the communication ended, the crew of the Celestial Pathfinder shared a collective moment of anticipation. They were about to enter a hidden sanctuary of galactic diversity, carrying with them the potential to change the balance of power in the cosmos. The ship glided forward, navigating through a series of invisible barriers and spatial distortions. As they emerged into the heart of the system, a breathtaking sight greeted them. Dozens of space stations orbited a vibrant blue star, each one a unique work of art and engineering. Ships of all shapes and sizes flitted between them, a testament to the diversity of life in the galaxy. "It's beautiful," Elena whispered, her enhanced vision picking up details that would have been invisible to human eyes. As they approached the central station, a massive structure that seemed to be alive, its surface rippling with bioluminescent patterns, Amelia felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to step into a new chapter of their journey, one that would challenge their newfound abilities and their very concept of identity. "Prepare for docking," she ordered, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling within her. "And everyone, remember that we're not just representing Earth anymore. We're ambassadors for a new form of life. Let's make a good first impression." The Celestial Pathfinder eased into a docking bay that seemed to adapt and mold itself to the ship's unique contours. As the airlock cycled, Amelia took a deep breath, centering herself. "Well," she said, a small smile playing on her lips, "shall we go meet the neighbors?" With Zephyr's comforting presence in their minds and the collective strength of their crew buoying them, Captain Amelia Chen and her team stepped out into the unknown, ready to forge new alliances and face whatever challenges the galaxy had in store for them. Little did they know, their arrival at the Nexus was about to set in motion events that would reshape the very fabric of galactic society. The age of isolation was ending, and a new era of cooperation and shared evolution was about to begin, with humanity's transformed children at its heart. The final stand. Humanity's ingenuity unleashed. As the crew of the celestial Pathfinder stepped onto the central plaza of the Nexus, they were met with a cacophony of sights, sounds, and sensations that would have overwhelmed their former human senses. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions moved about, some physical, others energy-based, and still others defying easy classification. Amelia felt the collective awe of her crew through their shared neural network. Despite their own remarkable transformation, the sheer diversity of life before them was humbling. Iona, the energy being they had communicated with earlier, materialized before them. "Welcome to the heart of the Nexus," the custodian's thoughts resonated. "Here, we share knowledge, culture, and hope. But I'm afraid your arrival has caused quite a stir." As if on cue, a crowd began to gather. Some beings approached with open curiosity, while others hung back, radiating caution or even fear. Amelia could sense the conflicting emotions swirling around them. "We understand," she replied, both verbally and telepathically. "We come in peace and with an open mind. We hope to learn from you all and perhaps share what we've learned in our own journey." A tall crystalline being stepped forward, its faceted body refracting light in complex patterns. "You claim peace, yet you bear the mark of evolution that comes from conflict," it chimed, its voice like tinkling glass. "How do we know you're not a new form of harvester, come to infiltrate our sanctuary?" Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Amelia felt her crew tense, ready for any potential hostility. But before she could respond, Zephyr floated forward, its massive form now shimmering with the same bioluminescence as the transformed humans. "They are not the enemy," Zephyr's thoughts boomed, reaching every mind in the plaza. "They are the hope we have awaited, guardians, born from the union of organic life and cosmic wisdom." The Voidwalker's presence seemed to calm the crowd, but Amelia knew they had a long way to go to earn true trust. She was about to speak when alarms suddenly blared across the station. Iona's form flickered with urgency. "Harvesters," the custodian's thoughts carried a wave of panic. "They found us. Our outer defenses are already failing." The plaza erupted into chaos as beings rushed to evacuate or prepare for battle. Amelia turned to her crew, their minds already sensing into battle readiness. "This is what we've prepared for," she said, her voice carrying the weight of command. "We didn't come this far to watch another world fall. Celestial Pathfinder crew, to your stations. We're taking the fight to them." As they raced back to their ship, Iona's voice echoed in their minds. "Your vessel alone cannot stand against their fleet. It's suicide." Amelia's response was filled with grim determination. "We're not alone. We have each other, we have Zephyr, and now we have you. It's time to show the galaxy what we can do together." Back aboard the Celestial Pathfinder, the crew moved with superhuman efficiency. Marcus interfaced directly with the ship's systems, optimizing them beyond their designed limits. Elena worked with Zephyr, using their shared biological insights to enhance their defensive capabilities. As they launched into space, the sight that greeted them was terrifying. A massive harvester fleet hung in orbit, their ships already beginning to tear into the Nexus' outer defenses. But Amelia felt no fear, only a fierce determination. "Nexus Defense Command," she broadcast. "This is Captain Amelia Chen of the Celestial Pathfinder. We're here to help. Follow our lead and coordinate your attacks with ours." What followed was a battle unlike any the galaxy had seen. The Celestial Pathfinder moved with impossible grace, its weapons reconfiguring on the fly to exploit weaknesses in the harvester ships. But more than that, it served as a conduit, linking the disparate forces of the Nexus into a unified defense. Through their enhanced abilities, Amelia and her crew coordinated the entire battle. They fed tactical data to the Nexus ships, predicted harvester movements, and even managed to tap into the enemy's communication network, sowing confusion in their ranks. Zephyr's presence amplified their abilities even further. The ancient Voidwalker's knowledge of cosmic energies allowed them to manipulate the very fabric of space-time, creating gravitational eddies that trapped harvester ships and opening short-lived wormholes to outflank the enemy. But the harvesters were relentless. For every ship they destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. As the battle raged on, Amelia realized they needed something more, a decisive strike that could turn the tide. "Elena," she called out, her mind racing, "you said our evolution was accelerated. Is there a way to reverse that process? To devolve something?" The scientist's eyes widened as she grasped Amelia's plan. "Theoretically, yes, but to affect an entire fleet." "We have the combined power of the Nexus behind us," Amelia replied. "If we can't do it here and now, it can't be done. Prepare the transmission." As Elena and her team worked feverishly, the rest of the crew pushed themselves to the limit, holding the line against the harvester onslaught. Ships on both sides fell in fiery cascades, and the space around the Nexus became a graveyard of shattered metal and dissipating energy. Finally, Elena's voice rang out. "It's ready, Captain, but we'll only get 1 shot at this." Amelia nodded grimly. "All Nexus ships, fall back behind us. Divert all power to forward shields and the main deflector array. We're ending this now." The celestial pathfinder surged forward, plunging into the heart of the harvester fleet. Enemy fire raked their shields, but the combined power of human ingenuity, voidwalker biology, and Nexus technology held firm. "Now," Amelia commanded. A beam of scintillating energy erupted from the ship, engulfing the harvester fleet. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, before their astonished eyes, the enemy ships began to change. Their sleek forms grew bulky and uncoordinated. Weapons ports sealed shut, and engines sputtered and died. The de-evolution beam had warped. The harvesters, so reliant on their advanced technology, found themselves reduced to a more primitive state. Their fleet, once a terrifying armada, now drifted helplessly in space. As the remaining Nexus ships moved in to neutralize the threat, a cheer went up across all channels. Against all odds, they had won. The celestial pathfinder and its hybrid crew had turned the tide of a war that had raged for eons. Amelia allowed herself a moment of relief before turning to her crew. "Well done, all of you. But our work is just beginning. The galaxy will never be the same after this, and we need to be ready for what comes next." As the celestial pathfinder docked once more with the Nexus Central Station, Amelia knew that they stood on the brink of a new era. They had proven that diversity and cooperation could overcome even the most implacable of foes. Now, they had to build a future worthy of that victory. The stars seemed to shine brighter as the celebrations began, a testament to the new hope that had been kindled in the heart of the galaxy. Humanity, in its new evolved form, had found its place among the cosmos, not as conquerors, but as protectors and unifiers. And this, Amelia realized, was just the beginning of their true journey. A new era, interstellar cooperation. The weeks following the decisive battle against the harvesters were a whirlwind of activity. The Nexus, once a hidden sanctuary, had become the center of a galactic revolution. Ships from hundreds of worlds converged on the system, drawn by tales of the hybrid humans who had turned the tide against an ancient enemy. Captain Amelia Chen stood in the newly constructed Hall of Union, a vast chamber designed to house representatives from every known spacefaring species. The room hummed with a cacophony of languages, thought forms, and energy signatures. At the center stood a holographic representation of the galaxy, worlds previously isolated now connected by lines of communication and cooperation. "It's really happening," Elena marveled, her form shimmering slightly as she adjusted her appearance to put some of the more skittish alien delegates at ease. "We're witnessing the birth of a true galactic community." Amelia nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. "And we're at the heart of it. Our actions here will shape the future of countless civilizations." Zephyr's thoughts brushed against their minds, a comforting presence. "You have opened a door long thought sealed. The age of isolation is ending. Now comes the true test, learning to grow together." As if on cue, Aona materialized beside them, the energy beings form pulsing with excitement. "The council is ready to begin, Captain Chen. They await your address." Amelia took a deep breath, centering herself. She reached out through the neural network, feeling the support and strength of her crew. With a nod, she stepped onto the central platform, her enhanced voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. "Esteemed delegates, allies and friends," she began, her words translated instantly into hundreds of languages and thought forms. "We stand at a crossroads of cosmic history. For too long, fear and isolation have been our response to the threats that lurk in the dark between stars. The harvesters were but one face of that darkness." She paused, letting her gaze sweep across the assembled beings. "But we have proven that there is a greater power in the universe, the power of cooperation, of shared evolution, of standing together in the face of adversity. We are no longer alone in the cosmos. We are no longer powerless against its terrors." The holographic galaxy above her shifted, highlighting the worlds that had already pledged to join the new alliance. "What we propose today is more than a military coalition or a trade agreement. It is a commitment to a shared future. To pool our knowledge, our resources, and our unique perspectives to face whatever challenges await us." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Amelia could sense the hope and excitement building, but also the undercurrent of fear and doubt. She pressed on. "I know many of you look at us, at what we've become, with uncertainty. We are something new, a bridge between organic and synthetic, between individual and collective. But we are not here to replace or overshadow. We are here to connect, to facilitate, to protect." She gestured to her crew, to Zephyr, to the diverse beings that filled the hall. "Look around you. Every being here represents a unique path of evolution, a singular perspective on the cosmos. It is in that diversity that our true strength lies. Together, we can be more than the sum of our parts." As she spoke, Amelia felt a surge of emotion from her crew. Through their shared connection, she drew upon their experiences, their hopes, and their fears. Her words became a tapestry woven from countless threads of thought and feeling. The harvesters sought to consume, to homogenize the galaxy into fuel for their endless hunger. We propose the opposite, a galaxy of infinite diversity, united in purpose but unique in expression. A galactic ecosystem where every species, every world, every individual has value and purpose. The holographic display shifted again, showing simulations of shared scientific endeavors, of worlds restored from ecological disaster, of new forms of art and culture born from interspecies collaboration. This is the future we can build together. Not an end to evolution, but an acceleration of it. Not the twilight of our civilizations, but a new dawn of possibility. As Amelia's words echoed through the chamber, she felt a shift in the collective consciousness of the assembled beings. Doubt gave way to determination, fear to hope. One by one, representatives stood, signaling their world's commitment to the new galactic alliance. The next hours were a blur of diplomatic negotiations, technological exchanges, and cultural celebrations. The crew of the Celestial Pathfinder found themselves at the center of it all, their unique nature making them ideal intermediaries between vastly different species. As the formal proceedings wound down, Amelia found a quiet moment with her core team. Marcus, his form now integrated seamlessly with streams of data, grinned broadly. "So, Captain, ready to rewrite the book on interstellar relations?" Yuki, her eyes swirling with calculations of newfound trade routes and defense strategies, nodded in agreement. "We've started something bigger than ourselves. The real work is just beginning." Raj, his consciousness expanded to monitor communications across the fledgling alliance, chimed in. "Reports are already coming in. Worlds that have been at war for centuries are opening dialogues. Scientific breakthroughs are being shared across species lines. It's beautiful." Amelia smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride in her crew and in the potential of what they had started. "We set out to explore the stars," she mused. "Instead, we've become part of them. connected to each other, to new allies, to the very fabric of the cosmos. Sci-Fi's thoughts enveloped them, warm and affirming. You have taken the first steps on a grand journey. The path ahead is long, but you no longer walk it alone. As the celebration continued around them, Amelia gazed out at the star field visible through the station's massive viewports. Each point of light represented not just a destination, but a partner in this new cosmic dance. The galaxy was alive with possibility, and humanity, in its new, evolved form, was at the heart of it all. "Well, crew," Amelia said, her voice filled with determination and excitement, "it seems we have a lot of work ahead of us. The universe is waiting. Shall we see what's out there?" The response came not just from her immediate team, but from the collective consciousness of their ship, from their new allies across the station, and from worlds beyond, a resounding, unified yes. As the celestial pathfinder prepared for its next journey, now as a flagship of the new Galactic Alliance, Amelia knew that they were embarking on the greatest adventure of all, the creation of a future where the boundaries between species, between organic and synthetic, between thought and reality, would blur and reshape in ways it could only begin to imagine. The stars beckoned, brighter than ever before, promising not just new horizons, but a new destiny for all sentient life. And humanity, once a small voice in a vast, uncaring cosmos, now stood ready to help orchestrate the grand symphony of galactic evolution. The end of one story had become the beginning of countless others. The next chapter in the cosmic saga was about to unfold, with the transformed children of Earth playing a central role in shaping the fate of the stars themselves.